In today's class, we are going to discuss about VSEPR theory. The learning outcome of this is to get knowledge about VSEPR theory. It is abbreviated as valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. And these are some of the postulates of this theory. The first is the shape of the molecules depend on the number of valence shell electron pairs around the central atom. It starts with the number 2. If the valence shell electron pair is 2, the geometry of the molecule is linear. If it is 3, the geometry is trigonal planar. If it is 4, it is tetrahedral. If it is 5, the geometry is trigonal bipyramidal. And if it is 6, the geometry is octahedral. There are two types of electron pairs, namely bond pair and lone pair. The bond pair of electrons are those shared between two atoms, while the lone pairs are the valence electron pair that are not involved in the bonding. The third postulate is each pair of valence electrons around the central atom repels each other, and hence they are located as far away as possible in the three-dimensional space to minimize the repulsion between them. The repulsive interaction between the three different types of electron pair is in the following order. The repulsive interaction is more in lone pair than in lone pair bond pair than bond pair bond pair. Based on this postulates, we can able to find the geometry of the molecules. The basic is hybridization, and it is defined as the mixing or redistribution of one or more orbitals of the outermost energy level, that is the valence shell of an atom, to give new orbits of equivalent energy, and these new orbits thus formed are called as hybrid orbitals. So this table clearly depicts the number of valence shell electron pairs, the geometry, and their example. So as I already told, if the valence shell electron pair is 2, then the geometry is linear and the bond angle is 180 degree. And if it is 3, it is sp2 hybridization. The geometry is trigonal planar and the bond angle is 120 degree. And if it is 4, it is sp3 hybridization. The geometry is tetrahedral and the bond angle is 109.5 degree. And if the valence shell electron pair is 5, the geometry is trigonal bipyramidal. The bond angle is 120 and 90 degree. And if it is 6, the hybridization is sp3d2 and the geometry is octahedral and the bond angle is 90 degree. So now we'll specifically go into sp hybridization. Here one s orbital and one p orbital mix to form two sp hybrid orbitals. They have 50% of s character and 50% of p character. The geometry of this hybridization is linear and the bond angle is 180 degree. Here they have taken a specific example of beryllium chloride. Beryllium has the atomic number 4. It has the electronic configuration of 1s2 and 2s2. In the excited state, 1s electron moves to 2p orbit. The excited state, the two orbitals 2s and 2p mix to form two sp hybrid orbitals. These sp hybrid orbitals are mixed with the off-filled p orbital of chlorine atoms, forming two sigma bonds. The next picture is clearly shown the two sp orbits mixed with the p orbits of chlorine forming BeCl2 molecule. The next type of hybridization is sp2 hybridization. Here one s orbital and two p orbits, one s orbital and two p orbitals mix to form three sp2 hybrid orbitals with a geometry of trigonal planar. The bond angle is 120 degree. Here the S character is 33.3% and P character is 66.66%. Here they have taken an example of boron trifluoride. Boron has an atomic number of 5 and has electronic configuration of 1s2, 2s2 and 2p1. During excitation, one electron from 2s orbit move to 2p orbits, leading to form 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals. These 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals mix with the p orbitals of 3 fluorine atoms, forming BF3 molecule with a bond angle of 120 degree and with a geometry of trigonal planar. The third type of hybridization is sp3 hybridization. Here, one sp orbital and 3 p orbits mix to form 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. The geometry of sp3 hybridized molecule is tetrahedron shape with a bond angle of 109 degree. Here they have taken a simple example, methane. Here the central atom is carbon. It is the atomic number of 6, the electronic configuration of 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. During excitation, the one electron from 2s excited to p orbits, leading to form 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals, and these 4 hybrid orbits mixed with 1s orbits of hydrogen forms CH4 molecule. And this is the other example of sp3 hybridization. Here also this is an sp3 hybridization, but the shape is different because of the lone pair bond pair repulsion. The bond angle is distorted to 107 degrees. The central atom here is nitrogen. It has an atomic number of 7 and has electronic configuration of 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3. During the formation of ammonia, 1 2s and 3 2p orbitals combine to form 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Here the 3 off-filled sp3 hybrid orbitals combines with 3 hydrogen atoms, and the fourth sp3 hybrid orbitals is the non-bonding pair or lone pair. Because of this, the shape is pyramidal and the bond angle is 107 degrees Celsius. These are some of the exception cases of sp3 hybridization. In the same way, you can able to see the geometry of H2O is bent. Even though it is sp3 hybridization, the geometry is bent and the bond angle is distorted to 104 degree. Because of this, lone pair bond pair interactive repulsion. And the next hybridization is sp3d2. Here 1s, 3p and 1d orbits mix together forming sp3d hybrid orbitals. These 5 orbits overlap with the singly filled orbitals of other atoms like chlorine, forms sp3d hybrid molecules. Here they have taken a simple example of PCl5. Here the 1s, 3p and 1d orbits overlap with 5 singly filled p orbits of chlorine forms PCl5 molecule. And the last type of hybridization is sp3d2 hybridization. Here 1s, 3p and 2d orbits of sulfur undergoes hybridization with 6 singly filled p orbits of fluorine, forms an octahedral shape and the bond angle is 90 degrees. So for any theory, there are some limitations. So for BSc-PR theory also we have some limitations. This theory fails to explain isoelectric species. Isoelectric species are nothing but the elements having the same number of electrons, and does not shed any light on the compounds of transition metals. It predicts that halides of group 2 elements will have a linear structure, whereas their actual structure is a bent one. So, in order to overcome all these limitations, people find another theory, and that is nothing but MO theory, that we will discuss in the next class. So, these are some expected questions from this unit, from this topic. And from this lecture, you are able to identify the structure of molecules based on this theory. Thank you.